Lilly's senses are assaulted by a multitude of noises and scents as she enters the crowded, bustling market district of Garak. Yup, there's no mistaking it. The market district of Garak. You only need to smell that awful reek of fish and that filthy harbor to know where you are. If Officer Ganlin didn't post guards, Lilly's not even sure she dare come here at all. Excuse me, but might I have a word with you for a moment?
Yes, hello to you.
Of course, this is Marcus Albright, the recruiter for the ShadowGuard. Appearing solemn and grim, but the glint in his eyes seems to carry an unusual wisdom and strength. Good evening to you, young madam. I'm Marcus Albright, a traveler of the Northern Reaches, and I extend my greetings to you. Of course, Lily's going to be as polite as she can be. Introducing herself. Now that the formalities are out of the way, I would speak with you, if you have a moment, regarding a proposal that may benefit both of us. Of course, she's interested. It has come to my attention that a group of slavers, part of a broader organization known as the Bloodhawks, has set up a base somewhere here in Garak. These foul criminals have been collecting their victims from the people of the market district to later be sent north and sold into a life of cruel servitude. I'd like for you to aid me in bringing an end to their activity in this city. Alright, so this is the first test set for Lilly to be initiated, I guess, into the ShadowGuard. So of course she's not even going to ask for payment. It's reassuring to know that you'll stand against such a disgusting practice. Do not worry, the task I wish you to perform is a minor one. I shall reward you for the service. Just pleased to hear that. I'm willing to pay you 100 gold pieces if you help me discover the location of the Bloodhawks base here in Garak. Of course, that's not as rich as Lilly would have hoped. Once I have this information, I'll take care of the Bloodhawks personally. Of course, she'll forfeit any reward for the true prize, which is initiation. That is quite noble of you, madam. I'm pleased to see that you're as concerned as I am by this unlawful practice. One of this district's merchants, a dark fellow named Shrak, is rumored to have dealings with the Bloodhawks. I believe he may know the location of the slaver base here in the city. I suggest you seek out Shrak and see what you may learn from him. If he truly has been assisting the Bloodhawks, I believe he'll have the information I seek. Yeah, she's curious what kind of guidance he might have, though. You may be able to convince Shrak to tell you if his trust can be gained. He's also a bit of a coward from what I hear. Might be intimidated. If you cannot get the information from him personally, you may be able to find some sort of evidence either on his person or near his merchant stand. But if he's so easily intimidated, I think she's curious why Marcus hasn't done it himself. I did initially, but Shrak discovered my true intentions. I imagine he'll go to great lengths to hide any evidence of his guilt from me. Thus my need for your aid. Alright. Very well. I'll await your return here. Dusk. Just what Lilly wanted to avoid. It's probably okay, but just in case, Lilly decides to check with Officer Ganlin. You know, just to make sure no magistrate's daughters have been killed behind a merchant's stall as of late.
I greet you.
Ganlin, Imperial Officer of the Market District, salutes Lilly's approach. Greetings to you, Madam Lilly Black. I hope you're enjoying your stay in the Market District and keeping clear of trouble. What can I do for you this evening? Of course, Lily's wondering how dangerous it really is, especially after dusk. It's a rough place at times, that's for sure. Garak isn't as civilized as the Imperial cities to the south. We have had our fair share of troubles of late. To make matters more frustrating, Captain Anagrill has given me a rather small number of men to police the market, and I constantly find we're far too undermanned to prove effective. Still, keep yourself out of trouble. The district has quite a lot to offer. There are quite a few merchant shops to peruse. You should be able to find just about anything you'd want here. If you need anything, just let me know. Confident that the square is safe to shop in the evening, Lilly sets out to find an arcane merchant that might carry Aurelium crystals and maybe even a scroll of knock. If she could find a Kervisor to order a pair of wild-hide graduation boots too, well, that would be perfect. You needed that special potion to cure your woes. Searching for scrolls of the arcane arts. Let Savannah serve your needs. Good evening to you, lass, and welcome to the herbalist shop of Savannah. Here you may find a wide assortment of potions and remedies to cure any ailment that may have stricken you, as well as a vast assortment of arcane scrolls. So it looks like Savannah's the woman to bring up these Aurelium crystals too. Aurelium, well, now that's a bit of a rare request in these parts. Aurelium crystals are not really found this far north, but I happen to have a few here that were sold to me several weeks ago. I could sell them to you for 60 gold. Of course Lilly can afford it, but she'd rather bargain. Offering 30. I suppose it'd be a fair trade, but you're a hard bargainer, madam. But 30 gold it is. Handing over the gold. She removes a set of gleaming crystals from her belongings, handing them over to Lilly. Here you go, madam. Be sure to put them to good use. Of course, Lily's read about them, a strong and stable source of magical power, but she's never actually seen them before. They're heavier than she expected, and surprisingly unrefined looking. Lilly asking to see Savannah's wares. As you wish, lass. Spells. Lilly doesn't find knock, but she does see two she's been looking for otherwise. Web and scare. She trades Savannah some jewelry and gems for the both of them, inspecting the quality of each scroll carefully. She plans to learn the new spells later tonight. The sewer. Lilly doesn't understand why they have to put an entrance right here in the middle of the market, as if the harbor isn't bad enough. Wow, he's certainly no Kervisor, but maybe he has some boots. Tagnar Forgehammer's Armory, open for business. All the weapons and armors you could possibly need, all for a reasonable price. Lilly wonders if she should even bother. Hello to you, young madam, and welcome to Tagnar Forgehammer's Grand Armory. Here you'll find the grandest selection of weapons and armor available anywhere in Garak. Of course, this doesn't look very grand to Lilly. He actually appears a little bit embarrassed. Well, I suppose you may be right, but I haven't had time to properly set up a blacksmithy yet. But worry not, lass. You'll still find a fine selection here. Of course, Lily's not looking for arms or armor, but she is looking for those wild-hide boots. Of course, Tagnar Forgehammer is always pleased to serve a customer such as yourself. A dozen suits of armor. Half a dozen shields, a handful of helmets. Why, he even carries gloves, but no boots whatsoever. Lilly wonders, what did the soldiers of the Sharakan Empire do? Fight barefoot? But Lilly is determined to buy herself a graduation present. She looks at the only two daggers Tagnar Forgehammer has available. One looks a bit common and dull, barely fit for Lilly to even pare fruit. But the other looks to be of superior craftsmanship. In her hand, she can feel its almost perfect balance. It's not even 500 gold? She'll take it. She'll delay talking to Shrek until after she's done browsing the Merchant Square. He looks like a wizard.
What?
And as rude as he is, he probably is. Finding yourself with a bit of an appetite from perusing the market all day? Come by Rago's for the finest food in Garak. I, Rago, have a reputation for preparing the finest meals in all of Garak. Would you care to take a look at the fine offerings we have today? I think Lily's gonna lie a little bit about a rumor she might have heard, seeing if she might get a small discount. Looks at Lily with indignation. I'm sorry, my good madam. That's a flat lie. Rago's eatery has been praised by even the Imperial elite. Now, do you care to take a look at my offerings or not? Tapping his foot impatiently. Quite insulted. Oh, of course she'll look. Most excellent. You'll see that I carry a wide assortment of food goods, and I'm sure you'll find just what you're looking for. Grom and tongue. Lily can hardly believe the locals have such a disgusting appetite to eat the tongue of such a dirty animal. And their repulsive culinary habits don't stop there either. They eat all manner of parts from the beast. Eyes, ears, nose, hooves, and Lily doesn't want to imagine what else. Absolutely vile. She'd rather eat chikara berries or juju nuts right off the jujira plant than even have to look at a Grommen tongue. At least Rago caters to a more discerning customer such as herself and sells packed rations. Light gems. Lily has a difficult time deciding between the orange and the green one, but finally picks the green one since it has less of a stink of Grommen tongue on it. Danesh, a beautiful, sultry elven maiden attempting to haggle the price of a gem. Come now, can a handsome young fellow such as yourself give a lady a bargain? Here's the merchant, Nalgir. Save your charms for someone else. The price is 300 gold pieces. You can either take it or leave it.
Well met.
Kara explained that she's quite busy. If you must distract someone, try this wretched merchant, could you? Nalgir, the elven gem trader, paying Lily little heed. His attention's diverted for the moment to the dark-haired elven woman standing across the counter. Here's Kara. Come now, Nalgir, there's no way that bloodstone could possibly be worth more than a couple of gold pieces. You wouldn't rob a lady in such a fashion, would you? He's snickering. Take your charms elsewhere, woman. I'll have none of it. If you want the bloody stone so bad, you'll pay what I ask for. She leans in near to Nalgir, stroking the side of his face softly. Now, that's no way to speak to a lady. Maybe we can work out another arrangement. His eyebrow arches high. That depends on what you had in mind. Suddenly, Lily's attention is drawn to the fact that the elven woman is deftly pocketing the gem in question as she attempts to seduce Nalgir right under his very nose. She places the jewel in her belt pouch, quickly steps back, abruptly ending her charade. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I need the gem so badly. But Nalgir realizes the elven woman's ruse. Wait a minute. You thief! Give me back my bloodstone! She makes to run, but Nalgir grabs her forearm roughly, holding her in place. You'll not be going anywhere with my goods, wench. You'll stay here like a good girl, and wait for the guards to arrive. She curses softly, turning a steely gaze towards Nalgir. You'll come to regret this, worm. She begins uttering a dark incantation. Akana, mistress of death, hear my plea. Send me a servant to break this cur's hold on me. The ground begins to shake around the merchant, Nalgir's eyes growing wide. His expression turns to one of shock. A ghastly, mutilated spirit has risen from the ground. His grip on the woman's arm weakens and he stares in wide-eyed wonder. Kara Saint, she believes this is her cue to leave. She takes the gem and quickly makes her escape. Now Tyr calling for her to come back. Then turning to Lilly. You there! You saw what the thief of a woman did, didn't you? Lilly has no idea what he's talking about. I know you must have seen her summon this thing. You have to help me. That woman, she'll ruin me. The gem is of little importance, but no one will come to my merchant stand with this thing hanging about. Motioning towards the spirit behind him. The spirit of Malgor. He's growing angry, thrashing his arms about and moaning strangely. Algier is terrified. Please, you must help me get rid of this beastly spirit. Well, Lily's curious how much he might pay. I'd be more than willing to pay you 200 gold pieces if you could find a way to rid me of this cursed spirit. If the thing continues to haunt my stand for much longer, it'll drive me out of business. So it's a small price to pay. Well, he shouldn't have said it was a small price to pay. In that case, you'll ask for 400 coin. I believe I've offered you more than enough for your aid, lass. Either take it or leave it. 300. Your offer has merit. I suppose I could part with a few more gold to be rid of this spirit. You have yourself a deal. That woman couldn't have gotten far. She seemed like a stranger to Garak to me. Perhaps she's staying at the Ravenclaw Tavern. Please, see if you can get her to banish this awful spirit. Lily wanted to do some trading, maybe for jewelry or even precious stones, but apparently Nelgir is too distraught over some silly spirit to do any business. 'Tis lost. It's the spirit of Malgor, moaning loudly and making strange gestures, but Lily is unable to communicate with it. Well, that's about every merchant in the square, except Shrek, of course. Lily's delayed long enough. She looks around one last time and then takes a deep breath, resolving to get the information she needs for Marcius, the ShadowGuard recruiter. Psst, you there, having trouble finding what you need? Perhaps Shrek can give you a hand in finding just what you're looking for. Another deep breath.
I greet you.
A small framed man with facial features resembling those of a rat, giving Lily a sharp grin, exposing a set of small yellow teeth. Care to peruse my wares, young lass? I think she'll browse a little bit, maybe some small talk, and put him at ease. I have quite a selection of items that could be found nowhere else in the market district. I also might be willing to buy any items you have unlawfully acquired, though I'll have to take a percentage, of course. A tunic, and a nice one at that. Why shouldn't she have 2 graduation presents? Besides, she shouldn't have to wear that silly Imperial uniform from the Academy anymore. She's an adult now, and a citizen too. Why, it's her right. And scrolls. Lily is surprised to see so many scrolls, even ones beyond her current abilities. She begins to make a list. Owl's wisdom, invisibility, ghoul touch, cat's grace, bull strength. She's careful to write neatly so her father can read it when he comes to market next.
I greet you.
Lily fabricating a story about her journey south and wishing to sell her house servant Giles. He doesn't quite buy it. His eyes narrow suspiciously. I'm sorry, friend, but I don't know anything but nothing in that regard. Well, she certainly doesn't want to appear cheap, offering a 50 gold bribe. Yeah, perhaps I might, holding out his palm eagerly. She hands him the 50 coin. Luck would have it that some friends in town right now, my good lass. They're always on the lookout for good specimens. You'll be well paid if your companion is of hardy stock. That's questionable when it comes to guiles. Go to the Ravenclaw Tavern and visit one of the tavern rooms there. Knock up on the door 3 times, and one of the men I'm speaking of will answer. When he does, say, the hawk's blood flows freely. I will let them know you're sent by me. I'll take it myself, but as I'm sure you can see, I'm a bit preoccupied with business. Now, just be on your way. Lilly decides to brave the stench of the harbor in order to simply take a walk before turning in at the Ravenclaw Tavern. The sky can be especially beautiful this time of night, its grace reflected in the water for a stunning effect. She only hopes for a comfortable breeze.
Well met.
The docks are closed to all who do not have official business within. Please be on your way. Lily's glad she bought herself that dagger, especially if she's going to be forced to share the docks with scalawags on shore leave or other ne'er-do-wells. She loosely grips the handle by her waist, even though she knows full well she'd simply run to Officer Galen. Greetings to you on this fine night, madam. Lily hates Garak. With no thanks to her father, who had the nerve to lock her out of her own estate, Lily has no choice but to stay the night at a common tavern.